Welcome back to FFA Hot Rods. If you're new to the channel, what we do here is show week after week that you don't have to have all the time. Do you mind? I'm trying to do a thing here. If you're new to the channel, what we do is try to show you time after time that you don't have to have all the talent, all the money, or all the tools in order to have fun with old trucks and cars. We are in the middle of a project though, and this is going to be the third and final episode of that one. A little while ago we did episode 1 of the John Deere Monster Wagon. Do you mind? And in episode 1 we turned that into a roller, got wheels and chassis all together for it. In episode 2, I decided I was going to be a fabricator, so we built some mounts to get the tub mounted up, got everything prepped and ready for paint. And now in episode 3, we're going to get to the fun stuff. We're going to get the paint on it, do final assembly. There's going to be a couple bumps in the road. It wasn't all sunshine and roses once we got the paint cans out. But we're going to do our best to get it done and see if we can get it ready for that FFA auction. This first coat, I'm not worried about coverage, I just want to get a little bit of paint on there. That'll give the second coat something to stick to. If I run the first coat, it's going to be there for all the rest. Actually, without even really pushing, I kind of got pretty good coverage on the first coat, so I'm hopeful for the second. I think we've gone long enough that we can just start with the second right away. That might be it for that can. Pretty good coverage for one can. Should be. Stuff was 16 bucks. It's a lot for me. All right, so we got the green on. It only took a can and a half, so that stuff was pretty expensive, but it covered well, so I guess you get what you paid for, right? So there's what our chassis looks like. It's still drying. We're not going to touch it yet. And I've got about a half a can for touch-ups, which I'm sure it'll need. I'm sure I'll see stuff once we start putting it together. But the shocks... So this shock cleaned up pretty good, top and bottom, the bare metal did. So I'm going to paint the spring and the center section yellow, and then just clear the other bare metal. And then these guys are for my front shocks. I'm going to paint that yellow and do the top and bottom bare metal. So we've just got to clean up some wheels. I noticed I had one that I didn't clean up very well. And then the handle, and we'll paint all this stuff yellow. And I think we'll be done for tonight. I'm going to have to go get some more little pieces for hardware and some slime for the tires tomorrow. But I think that's it. And a valve stem. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I didn't come up with anything for the cooler, but yeah, I'm not going to worry about that unless I end up with plenty of extra time, which I don't think I'm gonna. Oh, and I made bushings for these, for my front shocks, out of PEX that I had left over from fixing some square body door latches. I might look tomorrow and see if they make a green or a yellow PEX. If they do, I'll use that. Okay, everything's finally masked up, prepped for paint, and yellow. So now we're going to do yellow. We'll give that a few minutes to dry, and then we'll go back for another coat. 9:19. Probably give it about 10 minutes. So I let that cool. I let it sit a little longer than I intended to. I was busy cleaning up nuts and bolts to fasten the wheels on, but I think we're ready for round 2. Alright, in theory that should be all we need on that side of the wheels, and it should be everything we need on that side of those. So we'll let this go another 10 minutes and then we'll flip them and do the other side of the wheels. Alright, I think this stuff's all good except maybe the handle. We'll give another coat. And then I flip the wheels over and we'll hit them. Let's do it. Good enough. Just got to get one more coat of yellow on these wheels and then I think I'm done for the night. It's almost 10 o'clock. We got pretty close to 12 hours in. I think we're in good shape. It is what it is. Alright, I think we're ready for coat number 2, final coat on the front of the wheels. You can sure tell I put more effort into finishing those. Still not perfect, but considering what we're working with here, perfection's probably a lot to ask. Alright, I think that's it for tonight. We got overspray. We got green overspray, we got yellow overspray, we got overspray. But we got progress. Back in the morning. Alright, it's Saturday morning and the auction is this evening actually, but I need to be at the venue by noon to help with decorating and stuff. And I still need to load a bunch of stuff up before then. So really, I probably need to be loading this in the bed of the truck at about 11 o'clock. And here's our current situation. Everything is painted. I came out and cleaned up the wood sides and assembled the wood sides to the wagon. I'm pretty happy with how all that looks. The chassis looks pretty decent, I think. So, there's our little pieces. Everything's pretty much unmasked. The big question mark right now is, are the tires going to hold air? They're older tires. The beads weren't great. There's little pinholes in them. I went and got some slime. I need to put that in it. I thought about getting tubes, but we're talking about another $60, which I've already got a significant amount in that. We'll go over that. Significant for a cheap guy like me. We'll go over the numbers when we get all done with this and see where we ended up. But as expected with the humidity, the paint it's not tacky, but it's not solid either. In fact, putting valve stems in these tires yesterday, I actually managed to push a little paint off of one of the edges. So I touched it up, no big deal, but then I left it alone. Like I said, other than a little bit of cleaning and assembly, I really didn't do much with this yesterday, which is probably best. So while I'm monkeying with it this morning, we're going to fire up the heater, even though it's not really cold out here. And maybe that'll take some of the moisture out of the air. Maybe that'll help dry it out the last little bit. I know it's probably too little too late. It's going to be what it's going to be. But anyway, let's find our marker. We'll mark some stuff off the list because that feels good, right? And then we'll figure out I forgot something and I'm hosed. All right, we built the tub mounts. Clean the beads, painted. We're going to slime tires now. We clean the wood sides, change the bad tire. That's not going to happen. We ran out of time to mount the cooler on it. So, and we painted the wheels. So, the cooler was a question mark. I wanted to put it on the bottom there, but we're out of time. And we'll do it on the next one, I guess. So let's get started assembling the Monster Wagon. Now, the first thing I need to do is get air in those tires, which means I need to get slime in those tires, which means I need to be able to rotate them quickly afterwards. I got an idea for that. We'll see if it works. And these tires do have directional tread on them. Really, for practical use, it probably doesn't matter. But for looks, it matters to me. We'll show the quarter tank of fuel. Get an exhaust fan set up here so we don't suffocate. Asphyxiate. Okay, well, I guess the heater's not going to work. I can only assume that's because somebody else, who's not me, used up the majority of my diesel fuel and my gauge isn't accurate because there's just a splash in the bottom. So that's cool. So there's a little magnetic tray with valve cores and valve stem caps. And it's somewhere where I won't lose it. Yeah. Somewhere safe. So safe I can't find it now. There it is. Right where I left it. Found it. According to the instructions on the bottle, these little garden tractor ATV tires should take about 8 ounces. This is a 32 ounce bottle. Should do all 4 tires, right? And the measure is on the side.
Rinse, repeat.
That's not ideal. Guess we need to put a cotter pin in those, eh?
You went Canadian.
Alright. Check our pressures. Hopefully that's not losing. I guess that doesn't roll as good as I thought it did. Dang it! These back ones really weren't the ones I was worried about. Alright. Let's keep moving, we'll keep checking those. Okay, now we got to get our shocks set up so that our suspension doesn't just squish when we set it on the ground. We can set it on the ground. And that tire's flat again. Why are you flat again? Where are you leaking from? I mean, you got all the green stuff in there. All of a sudden it just... Why? I mean, it should be pushing green stuff out wherever it's leaking, right? Like, seriously, where is that? It's holding. And then all of a sudden it's not. Okay, let's assemble our rear shock setup, which is these guys. Or front shocks. We got to get them at an 8.5 is what I remember saying. I made some bushings out of PEX. I wished I had green or yellow, but I don't. And the hardware store guys look at you like you're crazy when you ask for green or yellow PEX, because apparently that's weird. I think that's about as good as we can get there. Put these guys on the front. Tight enough. Okay. Why is that tire going flat? Maybe I didn't put enough green stuff in it. It's probably 100 years old. We can try putting some more in there before we set it down. Felt like I put a lot more on the other side than I did in this side, so maybe that's what it is.
Maybe not.
Because if a little's good, more's got to be better, right? Why is that stopping? Why are you stopping? We got chunks? We got chunks. Don't worry about that. Get through it? Nope, there's still chunks. Now what are we going to do? Nope, still blocked. Dang it. We stopped again. Maybe you shouldn't let this stuff sit on your shelf for years, because it turns into a solid. I mean, it's kind of what it's supposed to do, right? You just want it to do it in your tire. Probably have as much of that stuff as we do air now, so that should be good, right? Well, I guess it's sidewall cracks. She is blowing bubbles something fierce. I'm not sure the slime will get that. We'll pull it off there. Let it roll around on that side and see if that helps it. I don't think it's gonna. Maybe the slime will fill in if it's laying on it. Oh, it's on the back side too. I mean, if it's gonna work, there's enough slime in there. Holy cow. Huh? It's still at 15. Maybe it's not hosed. No, it's probably hosed. Alright, I think we're going to take the other side off. Of course that one's flat too. Why wouldn't it be? Just took longer. It's all going great. Oh, that looks so cool. Man, I hope I can get the tires to hold air. It feels better now. This better. Maybe that's going to work. I really want to put them on there, but I really need them on the ground to make sure they're going to seal up. Let's snug up our tub bolts, maybe. I guess I can take them loose if I need to. Currently there's not really any adjustment built into them. I figured I could do that at the last minute, but the last minute's running out of minutes. You're still losing air. I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure if it's going to work at all if these tires won't hold air. Which they're really, really resisting. I think if we start letting the tire guy mess with these, they're going to scratch the crap out of them. The paint is soft. like on the ground. That's cool. Is the suspension going to compress? Depends on how big of a kid you're putting it, right? Or a cooler. Well, the tires are kind of holding there, and the paint is almost nearly kind of dry. Really, the only place the paint's dry is the stuff that I didn't paint fresh. But here we are at the FFA auction, and we're going to see what it brings.
Get me 25, get me 29, get me 25, get me 25, get me 29, get me 29, get me 225, 225, we're now going 29, get me 225. These things from John Deere only go up in value. Negative 225, even if 225, we're negative 225, through, negative 225, and that. So, you're waiting for the month number 27 expired, 27, thank you very much.
Well, I guess we can call that one a success. I just realized, though, we never got to do the fun part. Prep for paint. Yep. Tub mounts. Got them done. Steering mount done. Clean the beads. We painted it. We slimed the tires. We cleaned the wood sides. We changed the tires. We decided not to mount the cooler. So we got to mark everything off our list. All right. And I have it on good authority that Levi, one of the new owners, asked his mom every morning if he can go out and play with that wagon. So I'm pretty tickled that he's so happy with it. Let's go over the project. For tools, we used welder, probably went through one cutoff wheel and one flap disc. I have a flex core wire feed welder that we used. Trying to think of what else we really used. A couple of crescent wrenches, basic ratchets and wrenches would have got it done. A few drill bits. I have all the cheapest drill bits you can buy from Harbor Freight. So what did we have invested? That's it. Good boy. All right, so the original wagon I bought used. It was $50. I kept the axles off it because I didn't use them, so we'll take $10 off that, so we had $40 for the wagon. The ATVs, I bought 12 of them for $100, which works out to $8.33 a piece. So we'll say I used 2 of them. We'll round that up to $17. Then I made one trip for paint and supplies. That was about $60. And then another one for the slime and all that. That was about $45. So we had, let's see, $145, $155, $162 in it. So it took us a little time. I would say that we had half a day prior to me starting to take video of it, another half a day, and probably 2 more full days. So half and half is 1, plus 2 is 3. We're between 3 and 4 days total to do that project. So if you're looking for something to build something cool and not spend a ton of time or a ton of money like you could building a car, where, you know, maybe the last one took 1.5 years and we spent a couple $1,000s at a minimum, this is a pretty good project. Now the value of it, I don't know. You tell me. What do you think this sold for at the auction? What do you think it's worth if you were going to go buy one and somebody custom built it for you? I'm curious. Put it in the comments. Let me know what you think it's worth, what you'd pay for it, or what you think I should charge for it if I was going to build one of those to just sell. So that's it for this round. I think we're going to get back on full-size toys and hot rods stuff for me and move on to that next. It's been probably a month since I worked on the 57, so we better get back on it so it doesn't feel neglected. As always, check us out on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and remember, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.